It's your friendly neighborhood cult leader here, and I just wanted to let you know that we had some tech issues this week with the show. Luckily, we were broadcasting to TikTok as well as to tapdetroit.com, so you're going to get some of the video from the TikTok feed. You won't be able to hear Reep and Ace as well. However, I wanted to make sure that we captured the conversation that we had, and I didn't want to put this episode forward without it. So, bear with me. It's only this week. We had a slight screw up. I'll try to make sure that it doesn't happen again. Tech issues. The program decided not to want to record properly. I had to reconfigure. You don't care. All you care about is at least understanding why things are slightly different. So without further ado, on with the show, and thank you for tuning in.
You're about to listen to our program Eng. We don't know why, however we are grateful you chose to. We do wish to inform you that the views, opinions and overall morality do not necessarily reflect those of the station, interview guests, sponsors or musical entities. If you should choose to continue, and we sincerely hope that you do, just know, we tried to advise you against these actions and we are not responsible for any damage done to your sanity, morals or ideals. Thank you. Here comes the terrible siren.
One of us. One of us.
I am aware
I am a humble man.
that you feel you don't belong.
I won't say you should follow me.
You are welcome. You are loved. Join us, and we shall reach the promised plain.
I'm not boastful, and my chorus is more soulful.
One of joy,
Can't see
one lacking pain.
what
We
you're
are the cult of the heart.
used to believe. Cause we've been through
I am aware
Don't say it. I can see
you
it.
feel you don't belong.
I don't wanna. You don't need it.
You are
Once again, we don't need what I'm feeling. Don't say it. I can see it.
Join us.
I don't wanna. You don't
We
need
shall
it.
reach
Once
the
again,
promised
we don't
plain.
need you.
One of joy, one lacking pain. We are the cult of the heart. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. I am your friendly neighborhood cult leader, Odd. You're listening to the Cult of Odd on tapdetroit.com. And riding shotgun with me is, Deacon? Archbishop?
Deacon Ace, whatever.
What? Yeah.
I'm here.
We've got Ace and we've got Reep joining us this week.
From the highways of America with the deacon and the cult leader himself.
I've had some fun this week, and I've had some not fun. We'll talk about that later on. I got a Facebook ban.
I'm still on a Facebook ban,
Wait,
buddy.
what's great is not only in the same week that I get a Facebook ban, but I also got a TikTok account violation for a video. I appealed it, thankfully. We'll talk more about it later.
I haven't even pulled that one off. Shit, I got all my games. I'm slacking. I just get through. Hey, you know what though? When I get in 5 more days, I'm finally Facebook free.
Yeah.
This is I've literally spent half of this year in Facebook jail.
Oh, God.
Well, maybe you can do better next.
Here's the thing. Like, I don't...
Are those rookie numbers?
You know what? No.
I'm not gonna
We're going to
post
talk
them
about that later. Actually, I wanted to jump right into the
Jump
main...
right into what?
Yeah, main topic for tonight.
Trunk or treat.
Yeah.
Trunk or treat?
So I was in a conversation with a friend of mine, and we got talking, and it started to get pretty heated about back and forth between trunk or treat versus trick or treat, to the point where my friend called me a boomer in not so many words. And I went, what?
You're not even nowhere near a boomer.
It was the mindset that I was putting forth, though.
Oh, here we go.
And once
Showing our age.
I explained to him what my thought process actually was, he started to calm down. But it made me think, okay, so if this is such a hot button thing, let me ask the cult members. I want to see what they think. So I went to the Cult of Odd group on Facebook and I put up a poll. I also put up a poll on Twitter and I put one up on YouTube as well.
You covered all your bases.
I did. I tried to get a cut, a large cut. And overwhelmingly, trick or treat was the one that was said that was better.
Agreed.
Agreed. I mean, the whole trunk or treat, like, I believe your wife had commented on that. Like, for rural areas, it makes sense to do that. Because, again, you look at the rural areas where you have houses that are quarter, half, a mile apart from each other.
Right.
And, like, say you have a town, it's, 900 people, which those do exist, people. Trust me on this. So you have a town of 900 people, and maybe 200 of them are kids. It's so spread out over a vast area, they can't really do trick or treat. So in that case, like in a rural area, I understand it. But like in a neighborhood like yours or like mine, take your fucking kids out trick or treating. I mean, it's not just to me, unless you're in a rural area, trunk or treat is just lazy. It's just laziness on parents. Here, let's put 20 cars in here. We'll throw candy in here, and you can just walk down one aisle, walk down. Well, sure, okay, they get some social skills in there, and the parents get to mingle. Here's the thing that they're missing with the Halloween experience. It's not just walking up and down the streets. It's all the decorations, the time that people put into decorating their houses. I mean, Christmas, I think, is the worst of it. You have your Griswolds. You have your Griswold Christmas decorators. You do.
Yeah.
You have the same thing with Halloween, where people will put a lot of time and money and energy into doing up their house and their yards and everything else for the Halloween experience. Take your fucking kids out to go see it. Those are some of the best memories I had.
But the other side of it is that trunk or treat, and bear with me now, trunk or treat was, though it started in the rural communities, it is seen as safer. It is often put on by churches as well. So do with that information what you will. But it's seen as a more controlled environment, and you usually end up knowing the people that are there. Businesses do trunk or treat as well. They use it as a way to interface with possibly new customers. I think the trunk or treat, for me personally, sanitizes and almost makes it machine-like the Halloween experience. What's
with the list button? By the way?
There's a reason.
Okay.
But the Halloween experience is lost. One of the arguments that
it's yuppified.
Well,
it's called what it is.
Yeah,
it's yuppified.
It was one of the arguments in the chat was that Halloween, and I kind of agree with this. This is my view on Halloween to some extent. Halloween is about overcoming fears for a lot of kids. Growing up, that's the thing. Someone had brought up that everybody's all scared and everything. It's nice to have one night where they don't have to be scared. And someone else had brought up the fact that, no, that was the point of Halloween, is like for one night a year. And this is how I look at Halloween. One night a year, you get to step outside of yourself and be whoever or whatever you want to be in a safe, reasonable environment. If you want to be like your favorite superhero and be strong and be brave and get through that night, you goddammit are Superman, right, even if you're wearing a fucking snowsuit in Michigan.
Right. If you want to walk around looking like The Walking Dead.
Yeah.
That was the
you
point
dress
of Halloween.
up as your heroes or what scares you, so you're not as scared.
It's all about having fun, and everybody's just become so commercial with everything.
The other thing, too, it takes a lot of bravery to go up to someone's door and knock or yell trick or treat or something like that.
Yep. Then you have assholes like me. That's
the experience of it.
That was years back when my kids were younger. Me and my oldest kid, he screwed off and got in trouble and didn't get to go out trick or treating. Well, we're sitting there, and I had this clown mask that I bought as a gag to scare an adult. Well, I'm sitting there one day, I'm sitting on the porch, and I'm just doing like these very, very slow, like head movements, to where people thought it was like kind of like one of those, like those robotic skeletons or whatever, where it like moves real slow. So I'm doing this, and it's funny because the kids are going, "Is that real?" No, and the parent, you hear the parents on the sidewalk go, "No, that's like one of the fake skeletons." And then I'd wait, and the kids would, be double taking. They'd be looking back after they got their candy. And then most of the time they would stop after, a couple of steps away from me. And I'd jump up, and chase them. The kids there were grown adults that were literally and this is before the whole clown scare thing. This was years before that. To watch grown adults, oh my God, about pissing, it's hilarious. But like you said, Halloween is the one day a year where you can dress up like whoever you want to dress up as, step outside of yourself, be that character, whatever tickles your fancy, and have fun with it. Unfortunately, now, in the age of political correctness, okay, you can't wear certain costumes because you're imposing on their culture or you're degrading their culture. Or shut the fuck up. It's for kids to have fun.
Well, there is some extent there that you need to be careful with because you got to take other people's feelings into account. Yes.
Especially if you're out in public.
You know what?
You can't. Yeah, that's the thing. Out in
Okay,
public,
okay,
you want to
but
go
hang
to some
on a minute.
private party and
That's
dress
fine.
like an Indian and hoop and holler like an idiot and look stupid. By all means, go do it. But out in public, you could
Gotta take
inadvertently
other people into
piss or
consideration.
upset somebody that you didn't
Okay,
intend
but think
to.
about how many people are pissed off and upset when you see people dressed up like a clown.
Well, that's just because they're terrified of the fucking thing.
But again, it goes back to the whole thing. You're playing a character. You're having fun. I mean, again, is it? I've seen plenty of people where they don't, do blackface, so to speak, but they're dressed like a '70s pimp. I don't give a shit if you're black or whatever. Dressing like a '70s pimp is just funny to me, especially with the high platform boots.
But
and
you don't have to
big
put
feather hats.
You don't
and
have to do blackface. You don't have to try to. Yeah, that's a step too far.
But
In
in a
fact,
sense, you're still going by the stereotype of a
1, 2, 3.
'70s black pimp.
that,
Even if you don't paint your face,
Who
you're
says
still
it's
apparently,
gotta be black?
yeah, apparently there were white pimps and Hispanic pimps and
I'm sure
Asian
there were.
pimps.
I'm sure
And,
there
yeah,
is.
there's plenty of pimps.
But still, that whole '70s
Is it-
stereotypical pimp outfit, it's multicultural.
Just recently, and by the way, the only way we're being recorded right now is on TikTok because my computer shit the bed on me for some reason. So I
So
got
we're
to
not
figure.
even on the air.
No, I got to figure. Well, we are.
Okay.
TikTok.
Yeah,
TikTok.
TikTok has got us, but
TikTok got us.
I always said this show's no different if we're on air or not. We just sit here
Nah, we
rattling
just
one
do what
another.
we want.
yeah, our internet has been janky all week, like all week.
Eric, get off the internet.
It's not Eric.
It sounded good.
No, it's not anyone. It's the fucking company. That's,
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I guess I look at it as I don't think anybody who puts on like a black face, like a black face mask, or dresses like a Native American, or puts a turban on their head and a fake beard. I don't think any of that is trying to be insensitive to a culture. I don't think you're trying to make fun of the culture.
But
You're
you're
just having
asking for
fun.
trouble.
Period.
bottom line, it's not your culture.
Yeah,
It's not your
just
culture
asking
that's
for
being
trouble
made
once
fun
you go
of.
there.
I don't think it's being made fun of though. I just see it as people
Well,
having
it
fun.
doesn't matter
overall.
what your intent is,
Right.
it's how it's received.
It doesn't matter if you see it
I
as
don't know,
being
maybe
made
I think
fun of.
people-
It's not your culture.
I just think maybe people are just too fucking sensitive. Now.
They might
Oh,
be.
they
Yeah.
absolutely are, but still. It's,
I mean, I'm sorry. How many people?
What's
go
my
out and
argument? The
wear-
pendulum argument. The pendulum has been one way for so fucking long that when you let it go, it's got to swing all the way to the other
And I
side.
think that's what's happening. I think we talked about that a while
It's
back.
just
there.
got to
Privately,
take
I
time to
think
fall
it
in the
is.
center.
I don't know. I guess just everybody's just too sensitive for my liking.
Here's my whole take on the
Grumpy
trick or
old man.
treat, trick or treat.
I know.
The people like to decorate their house with trick or treat stuff. I get that. Everybody does it. I used to do it too in my younger day. I used to do it faithfully
Right.
from probably 82 on. But yeah, I think trick or treat needs to stay. But if you want to do a sidebar and trunk or treat at your church or
Or
community center or
like
whatever
a,
it is,
like a business.
here's an
always have
idea. Let's have both. I mean,
You know what?
Well, and you do see a lot of that.
yeah, and I think that's more the case now. Is you have your church organizations or your groups or community centers or whatever it be.
Right.
They have their trunk or treat or their party or whatever it is. They celebrate Halloween how they feel it should be celebrated. But trick or treat in the United States should still be door to door on the 31st and let it be both
And
ways.
the other thing, too, if you notice with Halloween over the last, I don't know, I'd say 10, 15 years, it seems like it's gotten earlier. Like they're starting at like 4 or 4:30.
They're trying to get the
They're
little
trying to have
kids
it
in
done by
before
like
dark.
8 by like 7:30, 8
Yeah, they're
o'clock.
trying to get the little kids in before
I
dark.
just
That's
remember
the
being
whole
a kid. We wouldn't start till about
Yeah,
5:30, 6 o'clock,
It,
and
you
we'd
didn't
be out
start
there at
till
10,
it
11
dark.
o'clock.
Yeah, you didn't
You
go
know?
out until the sun went down, and then
Right.
11 o'clock was the cutoff.
You know, but as a kid in school at the time, you're like, okay, I'm staying. You know, you're
Yeah, that was
9, 10 years old.
40 years ago. 30, yeah.
9,
40
10 years.
ago.
You know, you're 9, 10 years old. Oh, hey, I get to stay up till 11, 11:30 out of school. Like, yeah.
Well, now that
You
that
know?
we've discussed the tricker and trunk and all that,
Trick
I
and
would like to bring up a new bill, if we will.
A new bill?
Yeah, I want to claim Devil's Night for adult trick or treating.
And we can call it drunk or treat.
Drunk or treat.
And we just go from bar to bar receiving free shots.
You know what? I love your spirit behind it. I really do. I can get behind the spirit of it all. But the problem with that's going to be, you just said it, drunk or treat.
Well, yeah.
I think but here's the problem. Too many assholes. I can drive to the next bar. It's only my 15th
Oh, no, you
one
have
tonight.
to have designated drivers. Unless you have a drunk or trunk or treat. Then you just
There
go
you
from
go.
trunk to trunk and just have different bar setups.
Yeah, give me
we
a
can get
sample of this.
wasted
Give me
in
a
the
sa-
church parking lot.
What is this I'm drinking? What's this you're drinking? I don't know, but fuck it.
Well, I think we need to start that right away.
All right. So I got us back on the air.
We're back on the air.
And that means I've got a little work to do before I post the fun size, because now I've got to fix.
Big gap.
Well, not really.
In case there's a gap, we're doing drunk or treat next year.
So here's what's going to
Ace is
happen.
petitioning for it.
Unfortunately, the only person or the only people that got the conversation at all about trunk or treat versus trick or treat are the ones that were watching on Facebook. Now, or not Facebook, but TikTok. TikTok is recording this. So I could theoretically go in and grab the audio from it. I have no idea how it's going to sound.
So when it just got clear a minute ago, that's what happened.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight. Technical difficulties on the Cultivat? No, that hasn't been.
And you wonder why we're going to a format change.
Forget about it, eh? We're
It's easier
working
when
over
everything's
here.
pre-set up for me to record.
Yeah, forget about it, eh? Somebody go get me a cup of coffee and a cannoli over here.
I am Italian, by the way, so that's not appropriating culture.
Yeah,
That's how they talk in
don't
New
ban us
Jersey.
before we get started.
What are you talking about? That's how everybody in New Jersey talks.
Yeah, I just suspect this whole thing's going to get thrown in prison before it's all over.
Fuck it.
Police is going to raid us. You can't say those things.
We did.
Get the fuck out of here.
Got the CIA knocking the NCIS, FBI, criminal minds. They're all
Only if Mark Harmon shows up.
MIB.
That one took me, but I was like, I didn't see that one.
You threw a curveball at him on that one.
And the RIPD.
Yes, gotta have the RIPD.
You know, it's getting a sequel that's coming out like
No.
soon.
Is it?
Soon. Like within the next month or so, I
Soon,
believe.
soon?
Soon.
Oh.
Speaking
I
of,
like the first one.
yeah, it was a
I
decent
did like
movie.
it. It was
so
good.
apparently this is kind of a prequel. It goes back and follows the cowboy. It's how he
Jeff Bridges' character.
yeah.
That
So
could be
it's
interesting.
a young version of him and how he got to
Be part of the RIPD.
Yeah. I'll tell you what, too, and I've said this before. There is a movie on Netflix that stars Jamie Foxx, Day Shift.
Uh-huh.
He's a vampire hunter. It is not a terrible movie. No. It's not winning any awards, but for what it is not a terrible movie. Same vein as MIB or RIPD.
Oh, you have my attention with that.
With vampires.
Oh, my.
And there's an organization within the movie, too, that they have to work for to go through. What I want is a second movie, but I want a setup movie for how that came to be.
How the RIPD came to be?
No, how the organization in Day Shift came to be. Like,
okay.
Who set that shit up?
Yeah, who decided? Let's have a corporation or an organization that kills vampires.
Yeah, it's like an underground bounty hunting ring almost.
It's vampy.
Yeah, they
Maybe
get
they just don't talk about it.
yeah, they get money for fangs.
It's like Fight Club. We don't
Yeah.
talk about it.
Exactly.
First rule of Fight Club is we don't talk about
But
it.
yeah,
All vampires.
Day Shift on Netflix, totally worth checking out. But we all watched the trailer for the new Christmas Story movie.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait for that. That's going to be great.
I actually do. If you look at kind of how they're dressed, I'm wondering if it takes place in like the late '60s, early '70s. Because if you think about it, the original one took place in like the late '40s, early '50s.
Ralphie is a grown man, so you would figure he's in. Judging
It's
by the
gotta be in
movie,
the 50s,
he's
the 60s or
late.
70s.
He's in his late 40s,
Okay, so you figure if he's in 1946,
unless he aged poorly.
Okay, the original. I think the original movie supposedly took place in like 1946 or 1948, something like that.
Yeah, something like that.
So if you fast forward it, okay, and he was what 10, 12 years old in that one.
Yeah.
So if he had 30 years, that puts him
late 60s, early 70s.
Yeah, probably in the 70s.
Yeah.
And if you look at like their hairstyles and then you see the cars and everything, it still has that like late 60s, early 70s vibe to it. You know, like maybe mid 70s.
Pickpocket James says that was a poorly acted film. Jamie Foxx phoned that one in. You know, I didn't go into it expecting anything, and that's the thing too. Like, if you take my movie recommendations in any way, shape, or form,
Don't have
understand-
expectations.
Yeah, I don't set expectations for movies. It was a good popcorn flick. I was able to turn it on. I enjoyed the time that I spent watching it. I'm not there to dissect it because it ain't one of those movies to be dissected.
It's just one of the movies you just watch it. I don't know if it's funny or not.
Neat concept. I love the two, I think they were Russian, the two Russian brothers that were in there. They were vampire hunters. I'd take a movie about them because they were fucking
Their characters
crazy.
Their characters were that intriguing. Huh?
Yeah, they were crazy. They were like the extreme sports of vampire hunting.
You know what this movie kind of reminds me of? And I think me and you have talked about this, privately before. Like, you remember, like, back in the 80s, early 90s, all the cheesy-ass movies?
So every movie in the 80s. Gotcha.
Not all of them, but
Gotcha.
there was a lot of, like, B-flick movies. To where,
Every movie in the 80s. Gotcha.
Covers them all.
but if you think about it, a lot of them, you're watching it going, this is so cheesy, but it's funny, and I can't stop watching it. I miss some of those movies.
Yeah.
Just the innocent fun that they were. Let's be Porky's, okay? Classic fucking movie.
It is.
It's a classic. It's goofy as shit.
It is.
But could you imagine trying to you couldn't have that movie today.
Settle down,
Oh,
Lassie.
no, that would never.
No.
Why do they keep calling her Lassie?
Settle down, Lassie.
For those of you that have never seen it,
Go
watch it.
Yeah.
Great movie. You know what? I firmly believe also that movie publicly, and I say publicly, introduced the world to the glory hole. Go watch it. It's all
Probably. Yeah,
Blazing
probably
Saddles
brought it
is-
mainstream.
Blazing Saddles is another one that would have never got made.
Yeah.
You couldn't even remake. You couldn't remake the toy.
Mm-mm.
I mean,
No.
There were a lot of problematic movies, like in today's society,
But
would
they
be
were
problematic.
Look
Really
at the
didn't
toy.
think about it.
But look at the toy back then. Look who was in that movie.
Yeah, I know it.
Richard Pryor and Jackie Gleason, two of the funniest comedians of all time.
If it would have been anybody but Jackie Gleason, it wouldn't have worked.
Yeah.
It wouldn't. I don't think it would have worked without Richard Pryor as well.
That's the
That
thing,
could be.
too.
I mean, they
Eddie
both made
Murphy
that
or
movie.
Richard Pryor, one of the two. But yeah.
Well, if you look
you're
Eddie Murphy, if you want to go back to that frame, really Richard kind of took what Red Fox's comedy and turned it up a couple of notches. Eddie Murphy come along, took Richard's act and turned it up to like 9.
Well, if you've ever listened to Red Fox's old albums,
Oh,
he
God,
was
they're
the
great.
OG right there.
Oh, they were great. I
man,
love
he
it.
was hilarious.
But what's the? I think Vice TV has a series out. It's called Dark Side of Comedy.
yeah,
I've watched some of those. Very good.
those are.
You watch
Their Dark Side of the Ring have been pretty good, too.
Yeah, but the Dark Side of Comedy ones are good. They have the first one they did was Chris Farley.
Yeah.
That was really good. The Andrew Dice Clay one's really good.
Yeah.
I want to see him do a Sam one because I'm a Sam Kinison fan, which I'm sure they will.
Anything Sam is good.
Right. There was a few other ones that they did, and you just kind of going, wow. And I forgot, again, I grew up, with Kinison and Dice Clay and George Carlin and Eddie Murphy and Richard Pryor.
Gallagher.
Gallagher. Well, Gallagher wasn't really dirty, but,
No, but he was a thinker.
he was. But you look at some of these comedy legends, the greats. You couldn't, and then you look at Chappelle, who kind of came along later after that generation. But look at all the shit he's gone through.
Yeah.
It is Dave Chappelle.
And the sad part is he's a thinker. If people would listen to him, they'd benefit from it.
Well, no, all
But
they
they
hear is
just wanna
certain little
criticize
bits and
it.
bobs that he makes. Oh my God.
Yeah, they cut one little section
It's
out.
a good
frame
point,
it,
Crais.
Put it up and say,
What's that?
He's bad.
Give me a flipped from a flipped perspective, a vampire POV trying to survive, and hunters are the bad guys. I wouldn't mind that either.
That could be
That'd be a
interesting.
good story.
Yeah, because I've
Or
often
how about we can flip, like where you see plenty of movies where guys are going after hookers. Why not flip it around? Hookers dealing with the asshole men.
Pretty Woman? She just got lucky, though?
Well, Lost Boys was a little bit from the vampire point of view.
Lost Boys was fucking great. That was
a
I
good
don't get,
movie.
you know, and the funny thing was, Lost Boys is kind of one of those, I guess you call it a cult movie, almost.
Yeah, we approve it.
Yeah, no, we approve it. I mean, it has more like a cult following where it did okay at the box office, but
it wasn't a hit until later.
No,
Right.
it wasn't really a bigger hit. And there's so many great movies that have done that.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree, Chris. There is a lot of that in Chappelle's comedy that I understand this going in with Dave Chappelle. What he's saying and what he's meaning, I don't always think are the exact same things, but the problem is when he says what he means, it sounds the exact same way as when he's saying what he doesn't mean. And if anybody else followed along with that, cool, because I kind of got lost myself. But basically, you're right. Chappelle does have a tendency to punch down when it comes to comedy. There's a way to be funny and crack jokes on things that isn't as offensive, and there's a very fine line, unfortunately. A lot of the older comedians, they're starting to come over, but not really. Like, I don't know what you consider older comedian at this point either. But Dave Chappelle does have a tendency to punch down, and I don't like that about him. I do find him funny, and he is a very intelligent man, and I can read between what he's saying often.
I think maybe that's something that's got lost, is that people have forgotten the ability to read in between what they're saying.
Well,
you know, but I mean, like I said, you go back to how canceled, you know, basically cancel culture really started with Andrew Dice Clay in a sense.
Andrew Dice Clay, yeah.
But again, look at how hot he was at one point.
Yeah,
but he was only hot because
he tapped into something.
Okay.
He rode Kinnison's shirt tail.
I'm going to sound like an old fuddy-duddy at
To
this
an
point.
sense.
But when it comes to comedy, you don't have to work blue. You do not have to be dirty.
Bill Cosby did it for years.
And there's a difference between clean
Jeff
comedy.
Foxworthy, he's another one. He's not really a dirty comedian.
There's a
at
difference
all.
between clean comedy and not working blue versus working blue. Because not working blue means you can insinuate.
Yeah.
You can let the person get themselves there,
Well,
but you're not coming right out and saying it.
but also, if you look at, you know, Dice is what, you know, Dice and Kinnison both were, I guess you could call them, consider more like shot comedians.
Yeah.
They really were. It was the time, you know.
Well, nothing like that had ever been
Right.
seen.
I mean, there was nobody like those two.
No.
I mean, even like Carlin or Eddie Murphy, you had some people that were similar, but the way Kinnison was, you know, just nobody was like that.
When Kinnison came
Same
out
with
and
Dice
was
Clay.
screaming,
Nobody was like him.
You had Bobcat Goldthwait. He jumped on that wagon too, and he said,
Well, they
I know.
both kind of came out about
if
the
it
same
works
time.
for Kinnison, let's try it. And then Dice took a look back because he was on the scene.
Right. He
Oh,
was out
crazy.
there
Looked
with
I'll
at
him.
get
what
there.
was going on, and he saw that those two dudes were. He said, "Let's just take it completely over the top, throw the rule book out."
Right. And he went
and
in
just go for
and,
the throat.
and again, he
And it
went in there
worked.
with that New York attitude.
Right.
And just cranked it
So
up.
Craith brought up a good point. Gabriel Iglesias just sold out an entire stadium as the first comedian to do it, and he's not crass at all.
Yeah.
Now,
True.
here's the difference, though. Gabriel is fucking hilarious. Like
Fluffy.
he doesn't have to work blue because he is hilarious on his own. There are some comedians that do use being crass and swearing and stuff like that as a crutch. There are others that do it in a masterful, artistic way. And then there are those that are just filth for filth's
yeah.
sake.
Like
Then you
Lisa
have-
Lampanelli.
Oh, God, that is filth for filth's sake.
It is, but it's fucking great. She
But then
cracks
you
me
have
up.
Those few Jedi comedians like once in a lifetime Robin Williams.
Yeah.
Now,
Now he
that's
could
a
get
different
dirty.
level
Now see, Robin Williams
altogether.
could get
Nobody
down
can
and
touch
dirty with the best
Yep.
of them, but then he could just be completely squeaky clean too.
Robin Williams and
when
George
he
Carlin were a
delivered
different
it.
breed.
Oh, they absolutely were.
you could take something Robin Williams said live on stage, give it to somebody else, and it would not come off.
Well,
No, it wouldn't. No, he was definitely one of a guy. He was another one. I forgot how great Robin
Well,
Williams
Robin
was.
Williams was one of the best.
Oh,
Yeah.
absolutely.
Well, Kinnison was pretty fucking dirty, but Kinnison did it for the shock value coming from the background that he did. It was completely just
Right.
that's Kinnison in a nutshell is just
Look at me.
screaming, just firing out of the hole, screaming
And
at
the
the
whole
world.
screaming thing, how he got, kind of discovered was by accident. Him and his first wife were separating at the time, and he was in the bar and having a few drinks, and he started kind of yelling, and people thought it was funny.
Yeah.
And it was. Because, the first real big exposure people had to Kinnison was that bit part he did in that Dangerfield movie, Back to School. Great
Unless you went to the comedy circuit.
Right, unless you went around the comedy circuit.
Yeah.
He was there for a couple
And
years
again-
before he got that.
But you sit and look, you'll still hear to this day on different, radio shows, you'll hear those drops and bits from that movie. And he only had, maybe 5 whole minutes in the whole movie?
Yeah.
2-bit parts.
Solid 5 minutes.
It was some of the greatest shit in the movie. It made it.
Yeah. Well,
Like the
and
way you think.
Kinnison's evangelical upbringing put him in a different
Mindset,
yeah, and that's part of why he was so filthy. It was the shock value. I can say all of these things.
Well, for me,
Bob Saget too. Bob Saget's
Oh,
fucking
God.
filthy.
And the funny thing with him was,
that's weird seeing him.
Danny Tanner should
Right,
be saying that.
the thing of it is, he was on that whole scene with them guys back in the 80s, but he had that squeaky clean look to him.
Yeah.
So we're going to put him on this Full House show. And so for years, nobody knew.
Yeah,
And then
between
once Full House was done and America's Funniest
Funniest
Home
Home
Videos,
Videos was done.
once he got done with those two, he went out there and you're going, Danny Tanner does not say go fuck yourself.
Yeah, he does.
What?
Very,
Quite a bit.
very well too.
And then some.
Descriptively.
Danny Tanner does not talk about if you see Schmigel go out there and fucking mean his ass. What?
I had no idea he was even a stand-up comedian before.
No,
All
I
knew
didn't.
him was
None
from
either.
The show.
Oh wow.
And then
I
I
didn't
caught
either.
his stand-up one night. Didn't expect it. Was flipping through, and I said,
Because wasn't it not long?
Try stand-up. He got up there and he started talking, and I was gap-jawed for 20 minutes.
But if you remember, didn't he, after he stopped doing the America's Funniest Videos in Full House, didn't he have an HBO special not long after that? That's where he really went, what?
Yeah, that's where I saw
Danny
him.
Tanner's talking about having
shit.
sex with what?
Yeah, he kept talking about sticking his pinky in their butthole.
Right, and here you're going,
Like, oh
what?
my God.
So
Bob Saget is not allowed to do this, but it was great.
we are going to have to go to our first break because we are slightly over,
Just
but that's okay.
She'll be
we'll
back.
Cut into the missing part.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to figure out something to do there. But anyways, so we're gonna go to break. You guys on TikTok, you're gonna still be with us. But for the rest of you, if you're listening on tapdetroit.com, you're going to get songs from Tretura, Damo the Great, and David Christ and the Apocalypse. These are our top 3 for this week on the charts. I do want to let you know too that our top 10 charts are taking a break for a little bit. I've got new artists that I have to start funneling in now. And
a lot of work.
that's going to take some time. So you're still going to get songs throughout the episodes like normal. It's just we're going to put a pause on the top 10, and I'm just going to randomly pick until I get every new artist on board.
Get 'em all
And how
loaded
far
up.
behind are you on that?
I'm not far behind. I'm actually on schedule.
Oh, okay. I was just curious.
I don't get behind.
If he does, he never gets unburied.
Bullshit. You don't get behind. If she bends over, you'll be behind.
As long as I have enough time. I only
20
need
seconds?
3 minutes. No, 3 minutes. 3 minutes. I'm good. No, so you're going to get Ready to Rock from Tretura. You're going to get Eloise from Damo the Great. And you're going to get Suits Upstairs from David Christ and the Apocalypse. You're listening to The Cult of Odd on tapdetroit.com. And we will be right back.
Now it's time for our Patreon shout-out. Big thanks to C. Weezy, Bryce Rogers, Justin Burnside and Zaldor of Zaldor's World Podcast for becoming a patron. Welcome to our Holy Mother and the throne she sits upon, who have joined the Cult of Odd Plus. We hope you enjoy our long, uncut and girthy episodes until you're fully satisfied and left shaking from laughter. For everyone else, you can join our Patreon too. Just head to patreon.com/cultivodd. Become a patron and reap the benefits today.
Tired of regular bar food and bar atmospheres?
Yes!
Do you long for a place that feels like home where you're treated as family and not just another customer?
Yes! Yes!
Then Big League Brews is the place for you. Their menu is the most extensive in all of Downriver. They have an excellent breakfast selection, and they're also well known for their burgers and wings. But hey, if you don't want to believe just some guy on the radio, Big League Brews has been voted best sports bar in Metro Detroit by Click on Detroit 6 years in a row. They have the friendliest staff and a wide array of cocktails and beers, 26 of them on draft, with new creations regularly.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
And if you're looking for work, Big League Brews offers the most competitive wages with great medical and dental and vision benefits and plenty of paid time off. So what are you waiting for? Get on over to Big League Brews, located at 20428 Ecorse Road in Taylor, Michigan, or head to bigleaguebrews.com for more info. Big League Brews, go beyond ordinary. Eat and drink extraordinary.
It is an eerie story about a former hospital in Metro Detroit. The building now houses Wayne County employees. Now, some claim that they have run into ghosts. Our Paula Tubman teams up with some experts to put that claim to the test. Here's what you found.
They said I had a loose screw. No boundaries. Pump me through authority and tie my arms around me. Sleep soundly. You will hear. Sometimes I can't tell even if the voice is real. The quarter pill, it was just another casualty. They said I lost control. Now they're questioning my faculties. Actually, on one hand, they may be right. I don't remember anything that happened that night. A bright light, final destination. Only thing that they can do is treat my head with medication. The complications are abundantly clear. I don't remember shit. Some people fear death. Go ahead and let them kill me. I'd rather die first than admit that I was guilty. I'm filthy, consumed by rage. You see, only animals belong locked in a cage. One night in Eloise, I spent one night in Eloise. 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 I can't remember anything, all I know is pain. Electroshock therapy straight into my brain. It's not that I'm insane, just made some bad choices. But now I need something else to help me with the voices. Who am I to deserve a chance? When you see me in the street, you wouldn't give a second glance. Chemically enhanced, a needle and pin, and this blood that I can never seem to wash from my skin. Where do I begin? Because it feels like I'm done. That's why I keep the door locked and I hide from the sun. But that don't bother me none, cause maybe they're right. It's like I only feel myself underneath the moonlight. In hindsight, I don't get physicality. Been a lone wolf, I don't split my personality. Actually, I'm alone in my zone. They put me here first, now it feels like I'm home. One night in Eloise, I spent one night in Eloise. 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 One night in Eloise, I spent one night in Eloise. In Eloise, I spent one night in Eloise. In Eloise, I spent one night in Eloise. In Eloise, I spent one night in Eloise.
As of tonight, there is no technical explanation for what we saw that night.
How about a cup of joe? I'll warm the car up and tune the radio. Made this playlist for your morning commute. It's a little early for the morning to venture off to take the world by storm in your workplace casual uniform. Singing the suits upstairs, the suits, and they don't care. All the suits upstairs, the suits, no, they don't care like I care. Don't mind me, I won't eat up any more of your time. You got a lot of corporate ladder to climb. You're off to take the world by storm in your workplace casual uniform. Singing the suits upstairs, the suits. They don't care, all the suits workplace casual uniform. The suits, the suits, the suits upstairs. The suits, the suits. They don't care. All the suits, the suits, the suits upstairs. The suits, the suits. No, they don't care like I care. The suits, the suits. They don't stare like I stare. The suits, they don't care like I care. The suits upstairs.
All right, we are back. You're listening to The Cultivat on tapdetroit.com, and if you're joining us on TikTok, hello, TikTok land.
TikTokers.
If you want to hear the music better and actually probably hear us better, you can go to tapdetroit.com and just hit the play button. You'll hear us. There's even a chat room over there if you go to tapdetroit.com /chat room. But so I learned a valuable lesson this week.
Just one?
Just one.
Well,
And it
that's
was a
all it
very
takes.
important one, but I wish I hadn't
Did it
learned
hurt?
it.
I don't see any stitches, so I don't think it was that
Not
painful.
physically.
You see it. You see it. Oh.
Are you emotionally scarred? Do you need a safe spot?
You know how you play how scarred you are from Bubble Odd?
Yes.
What?
I'm
about that scar.
I'm about that scarred.
Don't ask.
Oh,
Don't
too
ask
late
about
now.
Bubble Odd. Just
Would
don't-
you like to know what Bubble Odd is?
Oh, I do. Yes, I want to know Bubble Odd.
No.
Yes, I do.
We're gonna tell
I'm
him.
curious. I'll probably be grossed out afterwards, but I'm curious now.
I was super sick. Okay,
Okay.
I was delirious.
Wait a minute. You were super sick. When aren't you super
No. Physically ill. Physically ill. Not physically making people ill. Physically ill.
all right. Thanks for the clarification.
Yeah. I was physically ill and I was doped up from Medicine Head. And it was when we lived over in Westland, and the tub there had jacuzzi jets in it. It was
Right.
I had put soap in the tub because I was going to take a bath, and the jets turned on, or I turned the jets on, and before I knew it, I was in a mound
Covered
of bubbles.
Right.
So I had the bright idea, because I was doing Mad World Radio at that point, take pictures.
No.
And there is a series of photos that I posted.
Bubble Odd.
Bubble Odd. And you don't see anything more than my face in a mound of bubbles.
God for that.
It's just the thought of it.
Right. I agree with Ace, but still.
So I use Facebook Messenger to call or video chat with people all day long while I'm working, because it's the easiest thing that's there.
Right.
I was doing something. I needed a piece for something that I was doing, and I video called a friend of mine.
Okay.
When the friend answered, I noticed they were shirtless, but they were at home. I didn't think anything of it.
Right.
It was only after that friend started to get up and move around to do what I needed from them that I realized they weren't just shirtless.
They naked?
They weren't naked.
Close to it.
They was in their skivvies. Now, you would say, okay, you've seen another man in his skivvies. It's not the most pleasant of sight.
Don't tell me he was wearing a man thong.
What's so psychologically scarring? No. I don't know
Tidy whiteys?
if what I saw
Is what you saw?
Oh, I know it's what I saw. I just don't know which is what I saw. I either saw some dick or I saw a testicle. But something was peeking out. And it was brief, and I was just like, ah! I didn't verbally say that, but in my head I went, ah!
It just what?
I just saw.
Hey, stop wearing Speedos. Come on.
No, it was like they weren't
Tidy
like tidy whities. They were tidy whities that had seen better days.
So they were gray Lucy's.
I don't recall what the color was. Let's just put it that way.
Off-white with a rip in them?
Yeah. All I know is a soft flash where I shouldn't have seen flesh. And
You saw things that shouldn't have been seen.
yeah, so I learned a valuable lesson. Don't just video call people.
Record it.
No.
No, that's not the
No.
that's not the point. Sorry.
No, that was not the point. Don't just video call people. Call before you come over. You know, so text before you video call them. I'm going to start asking people, you got pants on? And depending on their answer, I may or may not hit the video call.
If you just use your phone regularly to call people and put them on speaker, you don't have to worry about the video chat.
9 times out of 10, it's more cumbersome because I've already got Facebook up for whatever reason.
Well, fair enough, but still.
You know, grabbing the phone to make that call,
see,
unless
again,
it's for you because you're in a truck and I know
I'm
you
in a
are.
truck. I can't video chat. I mean, I
Yeah.
could, but all you're going to see is where I set the phone and whatever it's aiming at, generally the roof of the truck.
Right.
You're not going to see me.
And I honestly didn't even mean to hit the video call button.
You liar.
They're right next to each other, and I just
You
went to
did
click.
it. Don't bullshit.
Nope.
I've accidentally video called people and didn't even know what I was doing.
Stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it, stop it.
Exactly, same thing.
No.
What are you doing now, phone?
All right, so I
So
wanted
what you're
to.
implying is the phone is smarter than you are. Gotcha.
Oh, absolutely.
I agree. Hey, I'm not
Absolutely.
disputing
I
that.
didn't
I
argue
mean,
it.
I'm with you.
Okay,
Okay.
I've got a new posting schedule that you need to be aware of.
Oh.
From now on, the fun size on YouTube will get posted Wednesdays at 6 p.m. You'll see it every Wednesday.
Voting at noon, release at 6.
No, there's no voting this week.
No voting this
There
week?
you go. No, but
No, that's Tuesday, the voting.
yeah, the new release schedule for the fun size version on YouTube is going to be Wednesdays at 6 p.m.
Wednesday at 6 p.m.
Wednesday at 1800. Gotcha.
If you listen to us on Spotify, iTunes, whatever, that fun size version will be there like right after the show is done. But the video version that goes to YouTube is always going to have a few goodies and extras packed in.
Ooh.
So that's why it's taken me a little bit longer, and it's doing well. This last week's episode we're up to 153 views.
Wow.
Yes.
So, and
Keep
I posted
watching
it Wednesday. Yeah.
Tune in on tapdetroit.com.
Keep enjoying what
And
we're
we
doing.
got coloring books.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That-
we do. We do have coloring books.
We have the Cultivad coloring book, which has 85 pages.
85 pages, and I didn't even get one of them.
Coloring fun.
85 pages of coloring fun. Did you put me in the book? No, I'm not even on the back fucking page.
I didn't have your fucking animated face.
Oh, what the fuck ever.
Fuck off. I
You
hadn't
got
done
every
that
other
yet.
fucking thing on the planet.
I know.
Fucking the new guy, Jed's in it. I've been off and on to this show for, what, almost a decade. Do I get even one fucking page? No, I get jack shit.
Jad paid for his own animated self.
Oh, what the fuck ever. I wasn't even asked, wasn't even told. No, I get told, oh, we're getting a coloring book.
Oh, now I'm going to
And then
pay
I
to
see
make
it,
you one.
and I'm not even in the fucking thing. Ace has several pages. I don't even get one. So what the fuck?
You know, Reep, the big teardrop.
We'll put
Bullshit,
no.
man.
What we'll do is we'll
Bullshit.
take his aviator glasses that he has on there and the beard and the big mouth, and we'll put it on a snowflake.
There you go. Try a melting snowflake.
Only
It'll be
put
the winter
snowflake-
edition
Only put the snowflake on like the
might be my
windshield of a
shirt.
truck.
instead of the disturbing elves next year.
Hey, I'm all for
The
getting rid of
disturbed
the elves.
trucker. Instead of the disturbing elves, the
I'd rather
disturbed
be a
trucker.
melting flake than an elf.
Yeah, because you ain't gonna put me on a shelf.
Yeah, I don't
that
like
was-
the whole.
and I love that whole elf on the shelf thing because I always post the antithesis of that. We didn't have no elf on the shelf. We had
You're
an
right,
elf on
it
a
doesn't.
shelf.
I saw an X-wing on a sex swing.
Damn, an X-wing on a sex wing.
Yeah.
Poor odd. Do you need a psychiatrist? No, I'm
There
good.
isn't a fucking psychiatrist on this planet that can
I
help
had
him.
several.
Yeah.
We've had several.
You know, I made friends with one of them. She was at my wedding.
They charge by the issue, and we just don't have that kind of funding.
For those that are aware, it was after I was no longer a patient that she showed up at my wedding. She wasn't there to make sure I
Didn't back out.
Yeah. I don't know, Nicole. I don't know
I don't even think Sigmund
why they would have
Freud-
answered the video then.
What's going on?
Oh, I'm answering the chat.
Oh,
And
I don't think Sigmund Freud can help him.
They're still caught up on the underwear fiasco.
Yep. And TikTok said being married doesn't mean shit to some people.
You know what? And some people might not. To us, it does.
Yeah.
And if you can't respect that, it's your fucking problem.
I like my wife. I think I'll keep her.
Oh, I'd be so
I think she likes you. Some
I
days.
hope she'll keep me.
Yeah, some days. Depends on the day.
So, and Jad is coming back next week.
Cool.
Sweet.
Always glad to have him back.
Like I said, we're retiring the music charts for a couple of weeks. And fuck, man, I've been following this. I'm gonna get into this with my friend Paul in a day or two on his show, or whatever. But Elon Musk.
What about
and the whole Twitter fucking debacle that's been going on?
I love it.
I'm sitting back and I'm looking at it and I'm like, you're just gonna kill the platform with everything you're saying you want to start doing.
Anything that
Yes
shakes
and
up
no.
the status quo, I'm for it.
Well,
I think he's gonna bring it back to its original intent. I mean, do I think there's gonna be some things he's not gonna allow? Absolutely.
The blue check mark thing,
But I think he's gonna
has got me a little concerned.
What is the whole? Yeah, what is that?
Okay, so the blue check mark, it stood for verified. Okay, it was the verified account of an individual, i.e., if you're Johnny Depp or Arnold Schwarzenegger or Ryan Reynolds or things like that.
Figures they're doing it for?
Well, the blue check mark has always been there for verified official accounts, things that are actual representatives of said entity or person.
Okay.
And it wasn't something like, once you got to a certain status with like notoriety and fame and whatnot, you could get your own blue check mark, but you had to be somebody worthy of needing that blue check mark.
I'm not worthy.
The point was it was for like
for celebrities and shit.
Official accounts, because like if you're trying to find information, if so and so that you really like said something or not, you look for the official whatever of that person and try to get it. Well, now with the blue check mark being an $8 a month thing, one, I don't think you should charge people just for that. It's not, you've already done the work there. Charge new people maybe. If you've already have a blue check mark, in my opinion, you should be grandfathered in.
But you know what? I loved his response to what's her name, Alexandria AOC, Congresswoman. She had said something about him on Twitter, and he responded with, "Well, now that you have your rant, pay me my $8." I thought it was, look it up. It's hilarious. I thought it was funny myself.
I don't think that everybody should be able to have access to that, because now what happens is you pay your $8 a month, you make an account that looks like it's an actual account and it's a verified account. You can say whatever the hell you want through that account and essentially cause trouble possibly for whatever. Imagine if a celebrity account went and bashed a brand that they were actually being paid by, but it wasn't that account. It wasn't actually them that
you're
did
more
it.
concerned with spam accounting.
Trolling,
yeah.
And
I can see that maybe being an issue. Elon didn't get to be where he is by being stupid either.
And it's really funny that the richest man in the fucking world, basically, one of the richest men in the world, went and bought Twitter and told everyone that he was going to protect their freedoms and begin charging $8 for it.
Yeah, freedom costs.
Yeah,
no one said freedom was free.
And it just so happens that after I was done broadcasting, I went on the Dummast Podcast show, and one of the topics there was Elon Musk. So I asked Ice Cold if he'd be nice enough to give me that clip where we were talking about it so I could package it into this episode. So this is that clip, my take on Elon Musk and what Ice Cold and I talked about. If you enjoy it, by all means, go check out the full episode. It's already out now, and we'll link in the description below. But here's that clip.
Another thing that a lot of people are talking about, Mr. Elon Musk.
Man, fuck Elon Musk.
Fuck him.
Fuck him.
Fuck Elon Musk.
Look, man, I am so fucking sick of us paying so much attention to this goddamn billionaire that really has not made anything. He was born fucking rich. He has taken the Thomas Edison approach to fucking fame by just stealing everything that he comes across that he thinks might make money.
Let me backtrack a little, because I was saying fuck him because you said fuck him. You know what I'm saying? Like, no, don't get me wrong.
Laundry list against Mr.
Don't
Musk.
get me. I got some fuck yous for Elon Musk. I do. I don't think I am there. I'm not on the fuck Elon Musk level that you're on. I'm probably at a fuck Elon Musk at level 6. You're probably fuck Elon Musk level 10.
Yeah.
I I like space exploration and outer I'm into a lot of
And I'm glad Mr. Musk was able to open his parents' wallet for that.
yeah.
Okay, I'm
I
thrilled.
like SpaceX. I'm not gonna lie. I am fascinated by the self landing rocket.
I like the Tesla cars. Don't get me wrong, but fuck Elon Musk.
Fuck him.
But no, I know specifically it's the whole Twitter thing that's been going on lately.
Yes.
And
Fuck him.
like,
Fuck him.
he's just, I don't know, man. Isn't it cool that a man spends 44 billion, a fucking billionaire, one of our country's richest individuals, spent
He's
44
he's the richest. He's the richest person. Yes, he's the richest person on the world.
yeah, spent 44 billion to make Twitter free.
Wait.
And then asked for $8.
Well, you know why, right? So he is now among the billionaire club. He's a laughing stock for paying that much for fucking Twitter.
Yeah.
So now he has to recoup. He has to make up those losses. How can he make up those losses? You tell your employees they got to come up with a way to profitize. I don't know if that's the right word, but come up with a way to
monetize.
Monetize Twitter.
Yeah.
How do you do that? Oh yeah, let's create let's make everybody feel like a celebrity and let's sell fucking blue check marks.
Yep. And he rolled up like Samira from The Ring and said, "You have 7 days."
What about this morning with the whole thing where, hey, look in your email, you might got a little something in there. I might got a little something in there for you. The little something was a fuck you, you're fired.
Yep. Well, I was reading on Twitter earlier while I was waiting for things to render.
Isn't that fun? Just waiting for things to render.
Yeah,
Are you wait? We'll get back into Elon Musk. But when you're waiting for things to render, do you sit there and just watch it render?
Sometimes.
So you're one of them people too.
I need to make sure that the percentages are moving because I swear to God, every time I take my eyes off of it, it just
feel like
corrupts.
it didn't move. Yes,
no, it corrupts on me,
bro. It is the worst. That is the worst. Waiting for something on render and you think you're good and you go off for 2 hours.
Yeah.
And you come back and that shit is red, not green.
Yeah, you're like, what the fuck?
Because had you sat there and caught it when it corrupted, you could have restarted it. But let's get back to Elon Musk.
Yeah, so like apparently he took a call with advertisers recently to find out what their biggest concerns were on Twitter. And apparently what Mr. Musk brought back is that the biggest concerns that the advertisers have on Twitter are activists, because they don't like that people have such free access to be able to sway the minds of others away from their products or their companies based on things that happen. And I was reading this Twitter feed, and one of the people who was in the call with him, I'm assuming was in the call because the what they were putting out fell in line with what I know how business and advertising group calls go, said that it was a decent call, but what most concerned him is after the fact, when he started asking more questions, like Mr. Musk told them they could do, he got blocked on Twitter by Elon. My favorite, though, so far is the fact that Elon Musk's Twitter account was suspended for a period of time.
I saw that
by a leaving employee.
Amazing. Isn't that beautiful? How long was it down for?
That I don't know. I'm going to assume maybe 15 minutes to a half hour.
Dude, nah, that's not good enough, man. It would have been better if it was down for like 2 hours. At least give me 2 hours. Give me 2 hours where this guy can't do anything and he's trying to figure out why he can't get into his own fucking Twitter account.
Didn't you hear me? He doesn't do anything anyways.
Hilarious, man. Hilarious.
But yeah, man, fuck Elon Musk and the way he's treating Twitter and whatnot. Well, the blue check mark thing too. I want to touch on that again because we just mentioned it. The blue check mark thing. The whole idea behind the verification check mark was so when you go to find the official Twitter for the product or the person that you're wanting to follow, because we all follow celebrities on Twitter. That blue check mark means you're in the right place.
Exactly.
9 times out of 10.
Exactly.
So now if you open it up for every Tom, Dick, and idiot to fucking have a blue check mark, well, now you can have troll accounts and that look.
Of course you can. That's why he did it.
Why would you want that?
Because a bunch of trolls are gonna buy this fucking $8 piece of shit idea, and guess what's gonna happen?
It's gonna turn already into fucking 4chan.
Yeah. Guess what's gonna happen though? Because it's already starting to happen. A lot of these celebrities say, "I ain't paying Elon Musk shit. I am gone. I'm not fucking with Twitter." Especially after he let people who were kicked off of Twitter back on Twitter.
Yeah.
Are you? Let's touch on that a little bit. How do you feel about Trump being back on Twitter?
You're a Marvel's fan, right?
Mm-hmm.
You know, Marvel Avengers and all that. Really wish Thanos would have snapped him out of existence. Yeah. Here's the thing. I like words and I like the study of words. Words only have as much power as you give them. Okay?
Exactly. Okay.
So if fuck is a bad word to you, well, you've given it power to be a bad word. People are very much the same, okay? They're only as powerful as much attention as you give them. If you are fans of the Nightmare on Elm Street series, you know that the kids were told that if they just stop talking about him and they stop thinking about him and they stop, having anything to do with Freddy loses all his power.
Mm-hmm.
Stop talking about him. Stop thinking about him. He doesn't fucking exist, and he'll fade away. He's already lost most of his money. I'm pretty sure that he's not going to get out of these court cases without his ass in a sling.
He won't do no time.
He won't do no time, but he also won't be able to do business again, probably.
Exactly, and
that's worse for him.
Yeah. Could there be an indictment? It could be. But I don't think he'll ever see any jail time. But I think they're just trying to do this so he can't run again.
Yeah. But as far as him being back on Twitter, I am okay with the idea of dangerous and improper information not being so easily disseminated. I don't. Cancel culture in itself is problematic at times, but the initial intent to remove individuals who are purposely trying to cause harm is important.
Mm-hmm.
We have laws to keep us safe from individuals who would like to do us bodily harm or physical harm or sexual harm. Why is it that we shouldn't expect the same set of morality and rules when it comes to social media and what gets said and how things get said?
Yeah. He's gonna become very annoyed because the federal government eventually will get involved. They're in what's the guy who owns Facebook? They're in his shit all the time.
Zuckerberg?
Yeah, they're in his shit all the time because of some of this shit. Here's my take on it. I recently had a conversation with my brother and my cousin, and they had the sentiment. Well, they basically said Twitter should not have silenced Donald Trump. And I said, no, Twitter didn't silence Donald Trump. They just took him off their platform because he violated their rules and regulations. Mm-hmm. He violated what they did not. He went against what they did not want. They could. Here's the thing: they could have took him off a long time ago, before January 6th. They took him off on January 6th at night after all that shit. That's when he lost his Twitter privileges, I believe. They could have took him off well before that. But here's my argument: this is their shit. They can do whatever the fuck they want with it. Mm-hmm. If they want to take you off, you're gonna get taken off. It's their shit. It's not my, should they take them off? Should they leave them on? It's not up to me.
Yep. And if you don't like it, leave the platform.
Exactly. If you don't like it, leave the platform. Should they have taken them off early? Yeah, they should have took them off early, but again, it's not my platform. Now that Elon Musk, see, I have to have that same energy. If Elon Musk now owns Twitter and wants Donald Trump back, and he says whatever Donald Trump says, they didn't break my guidelines, so Donald Trump is cool to be on Twitter. Kanye West is cool to be on Twitter. That's his prerogative because it's his company. We all have our opinions. Do I want Donald Trump on Twitter? I don't want Donald Trump on Twitter because Twitter's powerful, man. That shit he basically used that shit as a bullhorn to have people go attack the Capitol.
Yeah.
We live in a free country. And if Twitter wants Donald Trump to do that, no matter how dangerous and powerful Twitter is, it's still there. And if he's not breaking any laws, I guess it's nothing I can do. You know, I can't sit here and say, well, yeah, you know, Donald Trump shouldn't be on Twitter or Donald Trump should be on Twitter because it's not my Twitter. My thing is, I think eventually, like I said before, he's gonna run into he's gonna be in front of some type of committee answering for some certain shit that Donald Trump or some other nut job, Kanye West or some other nut job has said on Twitter to rile people up and cause harm. Eventually, that shit's gonna happen.
Freedom of speech does not mean freedom of consequence.
Exactly.
And
This is why you cannot yell. You can do it. You can yell fire in a movie theater, but guess what's going to happen? You're going to go to fucking jail. You're going to go to jail. Like, yes, freedom of speech, yeah. Freedom of consequences, no.
I have this conversation a lot with a few of my right-leaning friends, and it comes down to you are pretty much free to do whatever you want. Should you do what you want to do is the real question. And the problem is everybody has a different moral compass for what you should and shouldn't do. And that's where we start to fall into problems. Because
their moral compass. So you say you have right-leaning friends. Their moral compass is wired different than most other people's moral compass.
Everyone's is. My moral compass is wired differently than yours.
It's still exactly, but it's probably not that off.
No,
it's probably not that far off from each other. Their moral compass is totally different.
Usually one of the biggest ones that because like I've got a lot of friends that are leaning more my way, or I consider myself more of a centrist than anything else because I see points on both sides. I just wish they'd quit arguing like children.
I'm the same way.
But like my one co-host and he's older than I, we differ on the death penalty. You know, there are certain issues where I deviate from what the norm is, of course, for others. But yeah, morally, everyone has a different moral compass. And yes, a lot of things might be the same, but the few things that aren't the same could be pretty fucking big things.
Right. I see, like, okay, so the right's moral compass seems like it's like a win at all cost.
Yeah, the bullies.
Yeah, let's win at all costs. We don't care what it looks like. We don't care who we hurt to get there. We don't care what kind of lies we tell to get there. We just need to win.
Yep. And the left doesn't have the balls.
Exactly. And that kind of I guess attitude, that kind of way of thinking is very harmful.
Dangerous.
We're gonna fuck shit up until we win.
Well,
There's one guy that's running for office on, forget what district. I want to say it's Arizona. They asked him, "Will you accept the results of the election if you lose?" And he flat out said he wouldn't say yes. In so many words, he said, "No, I'm not," because what if they cheated? Like I mean, we've heard it. We've heard it so many times. They got it on tape. All these guys saying, "Hey, Trump might lose, and if Trump lose, just all we got to do is say we won. If we keep saying we won, our people will believe it."
You know, the definition of insanity is doing the same thing over and over again and expecting a different result.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
So I don't know, man. It's a friend of mine messaged me the other day and was like, I'm so terrified of 2024, and I was like, oh,
Bro,
you know, you don't have to
he
wait
ain't the
that
only
long.
one. He
I
ain't the
hear the
only one.
circus. I hear
My
the circus
anxiety,
music
but
coming down the street.
my anxiety, I'm having anxiety problems because of that, man. Because like, man, I see shit, and I can see shit other people can't see. Like, I know what's gonna happen. Like, I this is not gonna be good. If they allow that man anywhere near the White House again, he's gonna. I don't
So
even want to get into it, man.
these elections that are coming up on Tuesday are going to be a telling sign for how 2024 is going to go. And so we here in Michigan, we have the governor race between Gretchen Whitmer and Tudor Dixon. And a lot of the constituents here do not like Gretchen because of how she
Of course they don't like her. They tried to kidnap her.
Yeah.
I mean, they
all because of how she handled the COVID restrictions thing. And like because I wasn't living in Michigan at that point.
Can we just unpackage that a little bit?
Yeah, a bunch of good old boys wanted to kidnap the governor.
These people, they didn't want to be told to wear a mask. They didn't want to be told that, you know, you can't go into the restaurant you want to go into. Let's kidnap the governor.
That's exactly what they. Yep.
What kind of world are we living in, man?
I live here.
What? Look, this is bizarro world, man. Yeah. This is crazy.
Well, and the thing that I bring up, like I said, I wasn't living in Michigan for most of Whitmer's run or anything like that. I came back while she was still in office, and every time I hear one of my friends are like, that fucking bitch, blah blah blah, she because that's what they sound like to me. I turn around and make sure I point out, I was like, you do realize there isn't a single governor in a state in this country that could or would have made the right call for everyone. Because here's the thing, if they did nothing, oh, you guys are going to be pissed at all the lives that were lost. Yeah. And they did something, and you're pissed that they did something because you couldn't go get fucking groceries yourself.
Yeah.
What the fuck?
You couldn't go to Domino's Pizza. The Domino's Pizza was closed. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you couldn't go yell at the barista.
Exactly.
That's what I think it came down to for a lot of people. That was their pressure release valve, is being able to go into public and yell at poor cashiers and shit.
Yeah.
And for like a year and a half, they couldn't do it.
Yeah, they couldn't go to Olive Garden on Sunday night or Cracker Barrel on Saturday morning.
Right. So when Gretchen Whitmer came on the TV, they were like, "Get off my lawn!"
Someone broke into Nancy Pelosi's house and beat her husband with a fucking hammer, bro. Nancy Pelosi. Let's put this into perspective a little bit. She's third in the line of succession to the most.
But her husband ain't.
Right, right. Because that's what they're saying. Like, they're making jokes about it, bro. Like, they think it's funny. This is the
not
third.
Funny, but yeah.
This is the third most important seat in government. The Speaker of the House.
Yep.
Boom, boom. Put it like this. Boom, boom. She's president.
Yep.
Someone was able to get in our house with a hammer. Where's Nancy? This is the world we live, and I'm only bringing up to just show this is crazy. This is getting crazy. It is getting scary that this can happen. We got judges. This is not just a Republican or a conservative or a right wing thing. There are leftists trying to beat up judges and kill judges. It's crazy.
I'm gonna tell you what, man. Idiocracy was just supposed to be a movie, but I swear to God, we're using it as a blueprint.
Isn't Idiocracy one of the best movies ever?
No, because it's becoming true.
but it showed you. And Idiocracy is what, 20 years old now?
Yeah, I think so.
It's about 20 years old, and they told the truth a long time ago.
Yep.
And I think we might be pretty close to where they were. We might be drinking fucking Bondo soon, man.
No, Brondo. It has
Brondo, yeah. We might be watching the masturbation channel. Go
Ow,
away.
my balls.
Go away, bacon.
Yeah. Ow, my balls. That was another one.
Right.
Yeah. I want to be not sure.
Goodness, man. Let's move on, man.
We all know the holiday season is coming. And what better gift to give somebody than the gift of helping them with their anxiety? That's why we made this. This is our coloring book. The whole reason for it is we know that our crowd is mostly neurodivergent, or they have anxiety issues, or they just have issues relaxing. That's why we made the coloring book. We wanted to give you something beyond t-shirts and hats and stickers, something that might actually provide some comfort or some relief from the daily stresses of the world. So it's out now on Amazon. Please go pick it up. It's the Cultivad Adult Coloring Book. Relax. It's just a coloring book.
Here comes Santa Claus, here comes Santa Claus, right down Santa Claus Lane.
Freedom's never.
I think he might shoot himself in the foot. I think Twitter's going to take a huge nosedive.
Yeah, but OnlyFans might go through the roof.
At this point, as soon as you start banning certain people for their ideology, for what they believe, then it's no longer viable and it needs to go.
Well, I mean,
but Facebook has done that as well, and the problem is there is some dangerous and wrong information that's spread around like fact, often by some of the what society would deem high tier people. And if you don't, especially if they're doing it on purpose, if you don't control that, we are a stupid ass society. We will believe almost anything. And if you don't believe me, look at where we are right now. We swallowed this fucking bullshit dream of the American dream, hook, line, and goddamn sinker. And we will believe anything. We've let TV and radio and the internet, I'm not lost on the fact that I'm broadcasting to you right now.
Exactly.
But we've let TV, radio, magazines, everything into our
Media
lives
outlets
are brainwashing us. From the fucking soap we buy at the grocery store to the cars we put our families in. It is all sold to you, and you took it on a box that said your life isn't complete without this.
With social media, though, like you're saying, okay, because of the false information, these aren't supposed to be news outlets. They're mainly aren't they supposed to be more for entertainment purposes, realistically?
Not yet, Mr. Brown. Thank you for reminding me. Motor City Candleworks has a sale that is going on right now.
Sale?
Yes. Ooh. It is for Cultivad listeners only.
Yes.
And it is, if you are a friend of Odd.
I am.
You message Motor City Candleworks on Facebook. This is a Facebook-only deal. You can get 5 bath bombs for $15. Normally would be $25.
Ooh.
Ace.
How long is that going on for?
For 1 week.
1 week? So
Ace just took advantage of last week's sale, which was 5 bars of soap for $15.
Nicely done, Ace.
Yes.
See, I didn't even know about it. But then again, I've been in Facebook jail, so you have to forgive me, people.
Now, in case anybody was wondering about said soap, I buy soap quite often.
I'm glad.
Markets and stuff.
Yeah, I'm glad.
I'm always out looking for the, Well, I don't.
It's hard to find a good soap.
When I go to these places that are like fairs and stuff,
farmers markets, things like that.
I try to buy something, but I don't want a basket of flowers or something to hang on my wall, so I tend to gravitate towards the soaps because I'll actually use them. Well, those soaps, a lot of times you use them a couple times and they're gone. This thing is big, it's beefy. I've showered with it 5 times now, and the corners are just now getting smooth. So it is. It smells good. It works good. It's a good bar soap.
Well, and that's the thing that I said last.
That was when I got you the blackjack when me and my wife went on vacation. I found that in an antique shop.
Mm-hmm.
Well, just browse around. I found different body washes. Some smell. I'm like, I'm like, here, you pick it because hey, that's a smart move. Have your wife pick the smell, right? And it actually, I'm like, I kind of like this. I think I like that stuff that I bought at this little antique shop. I don't even know what the name of the brand is of it. So much more than I like the store-bought shit.
Well, I accidentally bought Motor City Candleworks out of their Egyptian musk on accident.
And now that you're telling me, I didn't know Motor City Candleworks had, bath stuff. So
yeah, they just started with the soap. They've had bath bombs for a while. They've even got massage oils and yeah.
So check out Motor City Candleworks, people. They have more than just candles.
Yeah, they got some good soap. I'll give them that.
Yeah,
I'm going to ask them if they have certain cologne scented candles because there's a couple of colognes that I like. So.
Most of the scents that they have, as far as I know right now, are the ones that they put into their incense and stuff like that. They're branded scents.
Hey, Motor City Candleworks.
Although the Egyptian musk, I think, is.
If you got a cool water cologne or a cool water candle, I need to know that because I will buy the shit out of it.
But yeah, bars of soap are $5. You can.
I stopped using bars years ago. I don't know. I feel more clean using the fucking body wash.
I got weird skin, man. All I know is
soap?
that the bars keep me more moisturized than the fucking stuff that comes
I will
out
agree
of
they're a little more
bottle.
moisturizing, I think, but I don't know, for some reason, my wife got me hooked on it years ago, with the body wash and the loofah. I feel cleaner using that than I do bar soap anymore. I actually
don't know.
feel
the water's usually moist enough for me.
Just spit on it, right?
No, well, and the thing is too is like with bar soap, sometimes you got that weird filmy feeling left over.
Yeah,
it's not there.
That's what it really.
Yeah,
You
it's
don't
not
feel
there.
crispy when you're done.
No.
Maybe that's what it is. I have to find something that doesn't have that filmy feel to it. Maybe that's what it is.
Well, MotorCityCandleworks.com, you can get
Yes, I'm gonna have to check
bar of
Motor
soap for $5.
I'm going to check Motor City Candleworks.
And if you're a friend of Odds,
you can get 5
I'm a
bath
friend of
bombs.
Odds. I've been a friend of Odds for a long time.
Yep.
This
bath bombs are cool.
This lasts for a week.
My wife will like that.
5 bath bombs for $15.
I'll check out what different scents I got, and maybe she can pick one.
My favorite is.
I don't really take baths that often. She does. So.
My favorite scent from Motor City Candleworks is still Alpina Verbena. I like that lemony sweet scent that
Pine
it
Sol
is.
Sol kind of?
No, like think lemon Girl Scout cookie.
For my incense, I like
Those-
the fruity smell, but for like a bar of soap, I wanted a musk.
Musky.
I wanted to smell musk.
You wanted to be beefy and spicy and musky. Oh, yeah.
Well, it is a beefy and bar.
Nice smell,
Yeah,
as
that's-
I would call it.
well, it's a beefy
Spicy.
bar too.
Oh yeah,
Y'all
they're
were going
very hefty
beefy and
bars,
spicy,
for
and I'm over here thinking about Slim
I was
Jims now.
really happy to see it not fall apart.
Yeah,
Because I've
What?
bought so many bars of soap. You shower with them for a week and they're gone. This
Yeah.
thing's going to be around for a while.
and I'll tell you what,
I shower a lot, at least once a day.
over the years, I have tried a lot of products from Motor City Candleworks. I've had their incense, I've had their wax melts, I've had their candles, bath bombs, all of it. All of it is top quality. It's almost as if you had bought it from a big box store. It's so well made.
Now, see, that's got more of my attention than quality. I'll take quality over quantity
Yeah.
any day of the week, twice on Sunday.
Absolutely.
It's hard to find good quality products. So go to Motor City Candleworks, people.
Especially in the incense.
I know. I'm telling everybody to go there, and I haven't gone there myself. I'm shitty. I suck. I admit it. Look, it's a hard life on the road, people.
Their incense burns nice and slow, too. And
Does it?
you ever get them incense where you light them and it's like you can taste it? It's in the back of your
Yeah,
throat.
I hate that.
These ain't like that. They're not
No?
overpowering like that.
No.
They're a good incense.
Now, see, I was real big burning incense when I was a lot younger, like in my early 20s, late teens and stuff. And I got big on a couple of scents and brought me and my wife for dating. So she's like, she don't like the incense. It's that overpowering, like you just said. You get that taste. In your,
Yeah.
Maybe with these being not as powerful, she might like them better.
Yeah. Slow burning, good smelling, long lasting.
Yep. I
Sounds like a great night.
All right,
Burning,
so
long-lasting.
we got the
Every
Christmas
guy's
Story
nut green.
sequel out of the way. We talked about Elon Musk a little bit. New posting schedule. I've pimped the coloring book, retiring the charts, and Jad is coming back. I'm going to give you why I got banned.
Oh, this should be interesting.
Yeah.
I know why I got banned. I tried to be funny as always.
So,
no, you know, I can tell you why I got banned this time. Somebody posted a video about, with protesters in the road and, how would you get rid of them? I said, simple, run their asses over. They'll move.
It's the wrong answer.
You can't say that.
Yeah,
You can't say that.
Yeah,
You can say anything you want. It's how you say it.
Yeah, that's very much.
It's like, come on, I'm just speaking the truth.
No, so here's what happened. A friend of mine had posted, you met him, X, at my
Right.
birthday party.
Mm-hmm.
X had posted a update. He said, what is your bad side? What is your darker trait? And, he even went on to cut people down. And like, don't even bring me that mess of I'm too good to have that. Or,
Everybody has
I
a
take
dark
care of
side.
everybody.
Bring
And,
me your dark
everybody
soul.
hurts me. Yeah,
Your
he just cut
soul
everybody
is
down. He was
mine.
like, all right, Mother Teresa and Father Cunningham, but what's your dark side? Because everybody's got them. And so I commented and
Everybody
I
has dark
said,
traits.
I have a very sharp tongue. Once you have hit my bad side and I no longer care, I will cut you down quicker than you've ever been cut in your entire life. I
You're
am
not wrong.
vicious.
You're
And
not
that's
wrong.
What they've banned you for?
And that's what they
What?
banned me for.
How did you get banned? That's not I understand why I got banned. I was inciting violent speech and said run people over with a
Too
fucking truck.
descriptive of a cut?
They didn't even give me a reason. They were just like this. No. In the past, when I've gotten violations, they've told me what guidelines I broke.
Your statement violates our community standards of violent speech or whatever.
But
You didn't get nothing?
Nothing.
Just a 48-hour lockdown.
Yeah, 2 days. Actually, it was
fucked up.
2.5 days because they didn't count the first day at all. I was all day Wednesday, all day Thursday.
When did you get back? This morning?
About an hour ago.
Yeah, about an hour and a half, 2 hours ago.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, wow. So they did hold you over when we were talking the other day.
Mhm.
'Cause I wasn't sure either.
And so
Crazy.
that's
Bullshit.
what they hit me for. And then in the same week that I get the Facebook community violation, I get a fucking TikTok content violation.
How did you do that?
I posted a clip from last week's show.
Well, that makes sense.
I posted the clip where we were briefly talking about Joy Behar and how she had had intimate relations with ghosts.
Ghosts?
Yeah.
I heard that.
Who gives a fuck?
I posted that as a clip. And
Wait a minute.
TikTok, almost immediately after it went up, no.
TikTok banned you because...
No. I got a content violation, and all they did is muted the video.
They muted a video because it talked about Joy Behar having relations with a ghost?
Yep.
That she's talked about on television?
Yes.
I mean, I don't even like Joy Behar, but she's talked about it publicly.
It was that. Yeah, it was from an interview that I was.
Happened to Dan Aykroyd on Ghostbusters.
Yeah.
You look like he was having a happy ending, too.
I appealed that one. I was able to appeal it because that's the thing with the Facebook one. I was not able to even appeal
You know what?
it. They
I
were just
wasn't
like, no, bad. Sit in the corner and think about what you
Now,
did.
see, well, my last one, I tried to appeal it and got told due to COVID, basically, fuck you, you're banned. There's no appealing.
Yeah. No, TikTok,
Fuck you,
I was
Zuckerberg.
able to appeal and they restored the audio. They even apologized to me for it. They said, we're sorry, we got this wrong. Now it's an automated message and whatnot, but hey,
Still,
at least they
you admitted it.
Yeah,
At least you
got
had
it
a
wrong.
chance to state your case.
Well, all I really could do, it's not even really stating your case. It's pushing a button that says appeal.
Well, whatever. But at least you were able to appeal that one.
Yeah.
Like, hey, wait a minute, this is some bullshit.
Well, I've gotten hit for shit before on Facebook, so it's no wonder that they were just like, nah.
I am very careful what I post.
I don't give a shit. I find
Honestly,
it comical at this point.
So am I for the most part
Yeah,
these days.
that's why I was surprised when you got hit. I was like, how'd that happen?
And that comment, I don't see.
No,
I don't either, because I've said, I've posted worse than that and not gotten banned for it.
Yeah.
That's because of the vein it was in, maybe. I don't get it.
But here's the
I
thing.
can't either. I
But
mean,
I
you
wish-
think they give them a warning for it.
I wish the AI would see if they trigger on the comment,
it must
Go
must
back
have
and look
caught
at the
cut.
context of the post.
Yeah,
But
but
it
I would
doesn't.
think what happened is the computer saw cut deep and continuously, or whatever the cutting part was, and it was descriptive, so it.
But
jumped
you
on
would
that.
think, but if it honed in on the cut phrase, the word cut, you'd think it would have, okay,
cut you
still
like a knife. Did you say? My tongue's as sharp, and it will cut you like a knife.
Give me 1 second, because
but you would have thought,
I gotta-
but still,
It's a threat.
okay,
I gotta
but
look at
even
the
if it was a
exact
threat,
verbiage.
it should have popped up,
All right.
why he was in
Let's see
violation.
what he said exactly.
Exactly.
I am vicious. I have a very sharp tongue once you've landed on my bad side. The gift of gab also means I cut quick and deep to your core if you piss me off.
Okay, if it would have fell under, but if it would have fell under violent speech, it would have still flagged and would have showed him what the violation was, not just you're banned for 48 hours.
The first part of it said I'm vicious and my tongue is sharp, and then there was a pause, and then when you described cutting, it could have been with a knife because you didn't specify.
But it still should have specified. It still should have showed up
with one eye and half a
that
brain
if
would
I-
have looked at that. Wouldn't have been.
But it still should have showed up as, okay, your violation was, you violated our policy against, violence. And,
Right.
and things.
Told you something.
Right. It should have told you something. Anytime I've gotten banned, it's told me why. I think it's bullshit.
Yeah, I
but
don't get it.
That's all I wanted too. Is like, okay,
why?
fine. What community guideline did I break? No.
The thing of it is, there's so many community guidelines. You can't fucking, you can't know them all.
Somebody asked one time on AOL questions, how do you keep pigeons off your roof? And I said, pigeons hate smoke and fire. I didn't say set your house on fire. I said pigeons hate smoke and fire. I got thrown right off for telling people to burn their houses down.
When I
Technology makes it's so stupid.
A few months back, I had put up a question through the Cult of Odd Facebook group, and it was something along the lines of, what's a lie you told that you never got away with, or what's something you didn't get away with doing when you were a kid?
That you thought you did or something like that?
No, I forget exactly how the question was worded, but a person was commented and said, when I was a kid, I accidentally burned my house down because of I set something on fire accidentally in the bathroom. Or I almost burned my house down because I accidentally blah, blah, blah.
Right.
Facebook hit him and gave him a week ban.
Because he's talking about burning his house down. Or almost.
Because he was telling a story about how he almost burned his house
what I'm
down when he
saying.
was a kid.
I think Facebook needs to go back to what it was originally for, where it wasn't so honed in on every little fucking thing you said. I get not allowing hate speech.
Well,
I get
got involved.
I also understand monitoring violence, okay, to an extent. But if somebody's going in there talking about, hey, yeah, I almost burnt my house down because I was fooling around with these different candles, and then I decided to spray one with hairspray, and it lit the drapes on fire. You're telling a story. You're not trying to necessarily promote violence.
Social media changed when the politicians realized that you could talk about them behind their back, and they didn't.
Oh, God
get to say
forbid.
on it and couldn't spin it. And as soon as they did that, then they started clamping down on it.
And you know what? And that's where, back to Elon buying Twitter, that I think he's going to open that back up for people. Look, political satire has always existed. If you're a public figure, you're not going to please everybody. Expect to get shit on a little bit.
As long as it's labeled as such.
Deal with it.
You label it as political satire, I know right out of the gate. If I see anything posted by The Onion, I'm going to tell you what, there's been some article headlines that I've seen that I went, and had to look and see where the post was coming from. And I was like, as soon as I saw The Onion, I was like, oh okay.
I just think everybody's just gotten too oversensitive about every little thing.
But it's on purpose. It's our politicians leading us into chaos.
And that's the whole thing is, look, if you're a political figure, you're gonna get expected.
See, I can't wholeheartedly agree with that, though.
I can't
That's
say
the
it's all the
problem,
politicians.
is because there is so many groups that were pushed back for so long because they weren't X or they weren't Y or they weren't Z or they were X, Y, or Z. That the sensitivity that you're talking about, I see in some fashion, is the offset of that is they're now being And it sucks to say it this way, but they're now being allowed to be fucking people in society.
Well, it's fine to be people in society, but again,
is it though? Because you often
you're sitting here
the argument that people are too sensitive and soft about.
They are. Toughen it up. Look, I got news for you. The world doesn't give a flying fuck how fucking sensitive you are. Suck it up and deal with it. People need thicker skin. I'm sorry.
Why doesn't the world care?
Because we just don't. The world just doesn't give a fuck.
Why? Because we don't care.
Who gives a fuck? I don't give a shit. Look, I don't care if somebody makes fun of a fat person, a skinny person. I find humor in just about everything.
And you know what? I'm a
sick fuck.
Awesome for you.
I'm a sick fucker.
You're not everyone. And some people do get hurt, do get offended. You might have had the best childhood you could have possibly had or anything.
I would be more upset about it. After a certain point, I just stopped giving it.
You have to understand that you may not have grown up in a super oppressive or a super hateful household, but you are an outlier because there are a lot of us, and I can say us, because my household growing up was terrible. The fact that I'm a functioning human being is a goddamn miracle.
Well, you did say functioning. You didn't say highly functioning. So.
Whatever. The fact that I am not a murderer or a serial killer or a chronic wife beater or in jail is a goddamn miracle.
But you know what? That also
odds.
boils down to
I beat the odds.
Nice beat the odds. You did beat the odds. He beats the odds regularly.
With the odds.
He beats
there are things,
but you know what? Hang on. That right there falls back to individual responsibility, individual thinking, and individual choices.
Yeah.
You saw things that you didn't like.
Say what you want, but you are not.
Have you ever used
consequences of what
That's not what I'm saying.
Have you ever used the argument that it takes a village to raise a child? Ever? Once?
Oh, absolutely.
Then shut up, because we are still children. We are everyone's child, and the village needs to be a welcoming and comforting place for everybody.
Yeah, but the village also needs to teach a little bit of tough love too. Suck it up, princess.
We did for a while, and look what
you want to be. Do what you want to do. But if you want to identify as a flower, that's fine. You be a flower, but don't expect me to come water you every day.
No,
I'm not gonna. But I can tolerate you dressing up like a flower or whatever.
That's how you want to dress. I mean,
you could even walk down the street and be like, the flowers smell lovely today.
Yeah, I don't have a problem with that. You want to dress up or do something different. This is America. This is what this is supposed to be about. You want to love a man or love a woman and be gay or whatever it is that you want to do, you should be free to do that. That's up to you. You've got every much right as the next guy.
But at the same time,
everybody the same.
But you know what? And you're absolutely right. But I also had the freedom to look at you and go, "You look fucking ridiculous," and
you
I think
should
it's funny.
have enough common sense to keep it to yourself.
Yeah, tolerance.
I'll laugh out loud. Again, I find humor in everything. But
if you're out
like
in
I'm
public,
saying,
no, you shouldn't go. Look at the guy that looks like a flower. You shouldn't call him out.
Yeah.
That's wrong.
It's tolerance and acceptance.
Get with us sitting here in the basement and go, "Did you see the guy dressed like a flower? Didn't he look like a freaking weirdo?" And we're all going to go, "Yes, he looked like a weirdo. We're glad he didn't say anything in this street."
Again, if you kind of go against what the
ta-da,
if you're out in public and you're wearing something that I guess what's the term like word?
Have you ever
what's
been to
societal
Walmart?
norm? Exactly.
Have you ever seen the woman in Walmart?
Go to Walmart late at night, you
wearing
see
what
some weird
she's
shit
wearing?
there.
You do not go up to that woman and go, "My God, what are you wearing?" You just don't do it.
No, women do go up to other women and say, "What the fuck are you wearing?"
Because they crazy.
Well, yeah, women are nuts. But.
All right. We got to go to our next break. That's it for you. If you're listening for the fun size, if you want to hear the whole thing, you can check us out on patreon.com/cultivod. Or you can listen Friday nights live here on tapdetroit.com. For the rest of you, you're on TikTok. And if you're listening live right now, yep, TikTok's still here. Hi, TikTok. For the rest of you, if you're listening live, the show's going to continue for you. And if you're a Patreon member, you already know that you're going to get the rest of it. But if you're checking,
fun size listener.
Yeah, fun size listener, this is
over.
Yeah, it's over.
The party's over, so get the fuck out.
When we come back, we're going to be talking about what happened to 484 pounds of bologna.
I don't want to know if I want to know about that.
Was there a skillet involved? I love me some
I hope there was a skillet involved and not something else.
A broken toilet.
That's
yeah, we can lose bologna. Here with your 400 and some pounds of bologna.
Productivity falling
because of the bologna.
Yep.
Broken
and
bologna.
A husband who has been given a new career.
Oh, sorting out toilets and baloney.
We're going to talk about all that.
Ace is stuck on the baloney, folks.
And so much more.
If you made it this far, thank you for watching our latest episode. Please remember to like, comment, and subscribe. It helps us greatly with our analytics and being able to bring more content to you. Let us know in the comment section what you think, what you'd like to see more of, what you'd like to see less of. Just be respectful, because we're not trying to be assholes to everybody, and we don't want you to try and be assholes to us. Thanks again for watching. See you next week.